Hello everybody and welcome to a JK Running Productions video. Today's video, guys, gonna go over everything that happened this summer, all the training that I did. Gonna talk about each month, end of May, June, July, and August. This summer was an okay summer in terms of running. I'm really happy with what I was able to accomplish with the schedule I had. I was very busy. I was working like 50 something hours a week. I was really in the gym trying to get stronger and really focusing on that aspect. So with that, everybody, let's get started with this recap. So let's start out talking about the end of May, and really at the end of May, that's when I started my training for the season. I think my first week was like 18 miles. I ran like 4 or 5 days, and I only kept my runs between 4 to 5 miles. I just didn't want to go too far, too quick and get injured. The first like 2 weeks were like 18, 25, and then I think 28 miles. So that was my first 3 weeks, and during those first 3 weeks I was doing a lot of morning runs. I was waking up early at like 5 a.m. before work and running. Overall, the morning runs, they weren't nearly as bad as they had been in previous years. Then we got really into the month of June. In the month of June, again, I was just increasing my mileage, and I believe there was one down week in that whole month. I took that down week because I was just feeling super tired. I had an 8-mile long run and my legs just felt no pop, felt terrible, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it down a week, just relax. And that was kind of the key throughout each month. I took maybe one down week in between because my body was just telling me I needed to relax. So that's what I did. I took one down week. Then right after that, I had 3 really solid weeks of training. I ran 37, 39, 41 miles, and I was actually shifting away from the morning runs that I was doing in the early part of the summer. I was more shifting those to late night runs on the treadmill. The reason why was when I went on a trip to Florida, I was running on the treadmill. I ran on the treadmill each day I was there, and the treadmill did not feel that bad. I was able to watch some TV, listen to some music, so it was just a nice thing to do, and that's what I was doing. And I was doing some really solid stuff. I was doing 9 miles and 63 minutes, but the key is, for me, I always start my treadmill progressions really slow, and I always gradually work up. So in, let's say, that 9 mile 63 minute run, I'm starting out at maybe 7:24 pace, but then every 6 minutes is constantly shifting up the pace 6 seconds. So by the end, I'm finishing at around 6:30, 6:40 pace. And that's how I just like to do my treadmill runs, because it helps keep me more mentally engaged with the run, in tone with the pace I'm going. So I was really doing a lot of treadmill runs throughout that. Probably about half of my runs were on the treadmill. And then I was also going to a place called Johnson Creek right after work, and I was doing this 2.5 mile loop that I created. And really with this loop, it's hitting about 3 hills each loop. Going into last year, I really didn't get to do a ton of hill work, so I really wanted to make a commitment to doing hills, and that's what I ended up doing. I was going there once a week and doing a run, and if I could, I was going on a trail for my long runs as well. So that was really those 3 weeks. Then after that, just went into the last weeks of the summer, and I ended up hitting around 45 miles at the peak, which was a 10-mile long run, 9-mile workout, and just like 7, 8-ish mile runs in there. And my last 2 weeks ended up being 36 miles for those 2 weeks. The first week I ran 36 miles, I was kind of feeling a little bit sick, a little bit run down, so I took a down week, 36 miles for that. Then the next week, I was about to go for a run, but then there was 3 police cars that showed up to a neighbor's house, and there was a 14-hour police standoff, and the police told us to stay inside. So that pretty much shut down any chance of running. And I also had a Brewers game. My grandma was turning 80, so I really wasn't going to the next day going to try and attempt to work out. So ended up running to 36 miles. And yeah, guys, I think this total summer mileage I ran was a little bit over 400 miles. So it was a solid summer. I wish I could have been able to run more, but just didn't have the time. If I would have tried to run maybe a little bit too much, too quick, too fast, not listen to my body on those down weeks, I think I would have felt really run down going into this season, and I just don't think I would have ran as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plan works, me really listening to my body this summer, and I'm excited to see what I can do Last season, as I've talked about before, last season just did not go my way. I had a few good races, I would say. Had like 2 really good cross-country races, had 2 good indoor track races, and then outdoor track, it was just a couple races, and they just really didn't. They went okay considering the shape I was in, considering when I got injured, they went okay, but really I just didn't have a great season. And going into this season, I just want to change that. I want to be better, and I think I'm going to be better. And with that, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this rambling of me talking about the summer training. Let me know in the comment section below how your guys' summer training went. I'm always curious about what you guys are doing, so let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, turn those post notifications on to see more JK Running Productions videos, and also make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Strava. Join the JK Running Productions Strava Club. With that, everybody, though, I'm going to sign off like I always do. The grind never stops.